Dude.
Across my watch, man.
Look, it's Monday Night Live. It's almost October. MLB playoffs, of course, football is in full swing, but basketball is really picking up, and it has been an eventful last week. Not all great, certainly, but it's been an eventful last week. But we're gonna get into it. 94 feet of life. Ham in the building. Trav will be back on soon. And we got a special guest with us live from somewhere between St. Louis and Arkansas. He's somewhere in that mix. It's our main man, Coach Les, assistant coach at Link Academy. He's going to be joining us tonight because one of the topics is near and dear to his heart. So we had to get him on. But fellas, let's get into it, man, because we got to cover this. We're going to try to keep this at about a half an hour, 40 minutes for the peoples. Let's start with the first thing. WNBA semifinals kicked off. Liberty take game one. The Sun take game one. And what jumped out for me in both those games, fella, physicality. Like, for those who haven't watched WNBA, physicality is real. So let's start there.
The Liberty have been putting hard times on the Aces all season. All three meetings, they just beat them up. Each time, I watched all three. The two in the regular season and yesterday. More physical team and winning. And then not just that, but then it's like it almost kind of reminds not to say that they're playing with that intent to be intimidating, but it's kind of like they actually playing like the '90s Knicks and the Bad Boys a little bit. Yeah. Because they physical, but then they hooping too. You know what I'm saying? They doing a whole lot of backdoor cuts, moving without the ball, sharing the basketball. Everything's just moving the floor. They defending collectively on the string. They punching. You know what I'm saying? And physically, they win it. They got a couple of former MVPs on the front line. You know what I'm saying? And both of them doing work. Stewart was just. It's tough too because it's like her and Asia got a beautiful rivalry really going on right now. You know what I'm saying? Where it's not hostile, it's straight competitive, it's straight respect. It can get hostile, but it's just respect. You know what I'm saying? That's there between them. Asia got the better of it, pretty much last year. Stewie been getting the better of it this year. They win a goal, they share a goal together. Now we back at it again for another trip to the show. So it's gonna be these next couple. I really hope we do get 5 out of both of them because it's the best 4 teams in the league from start to finish. So to have game ones pretty much kind of go. I won't say as expected, but like okay, we ready to roll now. You know what I'm saying? We got the first round out of the way. Everybody got their feet wet. Let's look. We got game 2, a pair of game 2 tomorrow night.
Now, my favorite player in the WNBA, I love Asia. It's a lot of this crop of WNBA players got a lot of players. There's a lot of really players you can really lock in on. But my favorite player is Connecticut. And that's my girl Alyssa Thomas. If Anthony Mason reincarnated, she come out there, man, it's gonna listen. She got the skill because she's a great passer out of that high post, low post. She's a great passer. But you talk about bring your lunch. It's gonna be a long night with dealing with her. It's a triple, and it's triple doubles. You talk about a walking triple double, that's her. But she just affects the game in so many ways. And when she catch that rock, she put either one of them shoulders right in your chest. And she just, she's not like tall, but she about 6'1", 6'2", and she just create havoc, just create space. She's so yeah, she's tough, man. So Minnesota's gonna have to find. Cause where I see with Connecticut, they just like we just not gonna let Nafisa just do whatever she wants. Like Nafisa's a great player, but Phoenix just kind of let her go 1-on-1 both them games, which was a terrible idea. Once she got rolling,
Right.
Connecticut like, nah, somebody else gonna have to do something. We ain't, we ain't letting that.
Dude, they just physical, man, and um, they just a physical team. And for Nafisa to be such a offensive player, did she not get the Defensive Player of the Year award too?
Yeah, she playing both.
She played both ends, but I mean that game one with on their end, man. Like you said, it's just physical, man. When you say Anthony Mason and Alyssa Thomas is somewhat of the same, they either got an unorthodox shot.
Yeah.
Hers is right-handed, his was left-handed. But as far as physical play, the size and how they distribute the ball and how they just play ball in general on both sides, they're just alike. But like you say, man, enjoy the WNBA semis and this upcoming finals, man. It's not only about one person, it's not only about two people. It's about a whole group and it's about a whole team. Respect this game just like you respect any other game, man. And another thing about the WNBA in general, leave the racism up out of it, man. It's not warranted. It's not warranted in any sport, any professional and amateur level, regardless, man. Y'all just stay cool, man. That ignorant stuff, you can leave that at home, man.
Right. Yeah, this you know, you really don't want to hold paint the one fan base with a brush or a fan of one player's fan base with a brush. Unless could we remember this. I remember when Kobe kind of first really started to break out. And Les know this because Les from the shot. He know how this goes. People in Chicago turned against Kobe, not because it was Kobe, because of his fans. That's all it was. People have turned on LeBron. It ain't because of LeBron. It's LeBron fans. And I see the same thing happen to Caitlin Clark. And it's undeserved on her because she really hasn't done anything to anybody. Ain't done nothing to anybody. But we headed that direction where she becomes public enemy number one. It's not her fault.
And she's actually tried to tell them to them out. Everything is cool. It's just basketball. But
and you know what was real bad? It's really both sides of the fence that's with the bullshit on this. A whole lot. I'm talking about media, fans, both sides. If you whether it's the people that's turning on them, to me, they just as bad as the people that's trolling and egging and shit the way that they egg. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, first of all, like if you're gonna come on any social media platform and say that the only reason that we know who Cheryl Swoops is because Taylor Clark. No, 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 no. The only reason why you know the hell Cheryl
you
is
just
because
you
of Taylor Clark.
Yes.
Basketball people, we know. You know what I'm saying? You dudes and bots and fans and stands or whatever. A lot of y'all are stands. Y'all don't even really count. You really don't even classify y'all in that way. Matter of fact, y'all in the way and y'all pissing a lot of people off.
Go ahead, Les.
Along for the
I say
process.
this when
Y'all
it comes to
pissing a
that.
lot of people off. Not just us people like us as basketball heads, the people that are the commodities, the players themselves.
Right.
I'm letting y'all know, hey, y'all full of shit
I'll
with this,
say,
okay? Cut it out.
I'll say, yeah. I'll say this. I'll say this. And I don't even know if this makes sense, but the propaganda is propaganda.
Oh yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Absolutely.
even know if it makes sense, but the propaganda is propaganda. And I'm just like, Caitlin Clark, she don't do nothing but hoop. She don't talk. She just hoop. She, she running up a bag, all the endorsements. I'm with it. I love it. I love to see it. Like, she hoop for real. Angel Reese, she hoop for real. Like, all these women in this league, they hoop for real. Like, we are seeing some of the best. This is the best era of women's
Yeah.
basketball that I've seen in my lifetime. In the last 20, what are we looking at, 27 years
25. 24, 24 going on 25.
It's to me, it's the best I've ever seen. Period.
That was 97. The W started in
97.
97.
But see, to me, you ain't have to put a year on it.
So
This
about
the best I've ever.
27.
Before, yeah. So
Yeah.
like, this is like when the W first started, it was two names. It was two names. Not to take nothing away from the other one, but we're talking about like it was just two names and they happened to be on the same team. Cynthia Cooper, Cheryl Swoops. Those would have. Now we sitting up here having conversations about. Just think a couple years ago we got Candace, Asia, Rihanna, Diana. Like it's almost like DMX song. Like we got real like it's real.
Was it on DMX song?
It's real. It's like real hooping going on in the W.
Yes, sir.
Like I was on one of my former players' one Instagram story, and he had reposted a friend of his. This girl, she just casually, she finished her workout casually, 1-2, good. And I'm sitting here like, this is different.
Yeah.
This is different. Like women got it like young girls because I got young hoopers. I have to text my daughter, hey, you gotta get in that lab, chief. Like it's real. And I'm just saying, like, this, but I do like the fact that the stage is set, that we do have Caitlin Clark and we do have Angel Reese that's kind of like spearheading this. But man, it's like we got Paige coming in next year. A couple years after that, you got Juju.
Oh Lord, that 27 class is ridiculous.
It's like in the fact that the women's game that they only play a few months out of the year and they don't have to go through that 9-month season in the WNBA, and they're able to, like, these women are able to play for a long time. Diana Taurasi like 45 years old.
Right.
We talk about longevity. Diana's been Diana for a very long time. From the time she stepped foot at UConn till today. Now you can tell that age, that Father Time is undefeated, but if the Mercury need 25, oh, you best believe Diana.
She gotta get 25.
She gonna. And I'm saying we in the era that we're in right now in the basketball, and I don't see it slowing down.
And that's the beautiful part about it. So that's why we talk about, don't poison the conversation with the nonsense. When the hoop and the game is such a great place. It's the best place it's ever been. In my entire life watching basketball, women's game is the best place it's ever been.
And they already have the purity of the game. But their game is based off mostly skill. It's predicated on skill and strategy. They like cannot. That's what they. Man, I'm telling you, all right, they keep playing it. Yeah, keep trying to make this out to be a reality TV series.
It's not.
Keep on. It's real. It's real hoop. It's real hoop. Because
Right
they
now.
have to. They nobody.
Now, speaking of
WWE want to.
yeah, this is real life. Now, speaking of real life, and y'all know, I'm an older head with the hip hop. So Jay-Z and Too Short had a song. It was all good just a week ago. The Minnesota Timberwolves and the New York Knicks, less than a week ago, got the big Instagram post. Julius Randle on the Knicks. Julius getting a court named after him in the Bronx or in Harlem somewhere.
Put him in the center spot.
Cat, year 10. Carly Towns is year 10.
He gonna do his thing.
We sitting up on Friday night, Saturday night, something like that. Carl Anthony Towns traded to the Knicks for Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo. This is when you know a trade is good. When people on both sides are like, that's a good trade. It has not been like, oh, they definitely got the better of that one. Oh, they definitely got the better of that one. So it's only right. We got Trav and Coach Les, two of the founding members of the BBN Nation. And two of their finest get traded for each other. So Trav, I'm gonna start with you, and I'm gonna go left. When you saw this break, what was the first thing you thought?
I ain't gonna lie. The first thing that I thought was, who got the better end of the trade? And I just kept thinking. I'm looking here, I'm looking there, I'm looking here, I'm looking there, and I'm like, nobody. They broke even. That's good. They broke even. Now some of the Knicks fans, now all of a sudden you wanna go and hug Julius Randle. It's kind of like you don't miss him until he gone on some Drake type shit. Minnesota fans, same way. You were sitting up there talking about Big Cat in the semifinals. He didn't do this, he didn't do that. Now he gone. They're like, oh man, we can't do it without him. But see what happened when you switch and you break even? You can't say nothing now. You can't say nothing. And then for it to be sweeter for the Minnesota Timberwolves, you put somebody that Minnesota actually need in DiVincenzo to stay out and kind of strike. He can hit a wide open shot when it's needed. New York, your best player took a supermax pay cut for you to do this. Now, y'all talk about y'all need something else. Y'all know Tibbs don't do nothing but run 6 players. Tibbs finna run them to the ground. Bridges play 46 minutes a game. He's going to faithfully do that this year for all 82 games. And if he gets hurt, don't be surprised. That's what Tibbs do to his good players. It's just that simple. But overall, the Knicks broke even. The Minnesota Timberwolves broke even. Knicks, you got $150 more million over there. Use it wisely. Because that's what that boy left on their table. And basically, with that trade, everybody was talking about he had to get some. He had to get some. Brunson was just basically, he took $150 million for them to just make them say, hey, this is your team now. Jalen Brunson, this is your team. Now you got to go in there and tell them if it's somebody out there that can help them to make this team a much deeper team, use it. You got $150 more million of my dollars that you can use this on. So James Dolan,
over to you.
It's over to you. Worldwide, what is it, man?
Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
Say something. and this is David David Tolliver and Edgar Porter once said, "You never miss a good thing until it's gone." And for those of you who wonder who those two gentlemen are, men at large. Shout out to Gerald Levert. Shout out to Bunky, Cleveland representative. Um, they won't. You will never miss a good thing till it's gone. The New York people are gonna be like because how they've been playing is Julius Randle. He embodied all of that because that's who he is, right? New York. Now they get Cat. He's a tri-state area native, so he's gonna have some. But we know Cat to kind of be. I don't want to say he's soft because there's no way that a 7'2", 270-pound man that plays professional basketball games soft. I would never say that.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that your body goes through, I would never say that in my life. Now, I would say sometimes he doesn't rise to the occasion that people have set for him, but soft, I would never say that. Never say that. You can't last as long as he has and is played at a high level as he has if you're soft. So everybody just need to cut that silly stuff out. I will say this though. A part of me feels like Minnesota trade. I feel like that. And I'm not saying New York got finessed. I'm never gonna say that because they got an all-star big that can shoot basketball to play with a point guard that can distribute. And you got OG. They still got OG. People forget that. They added Michael. They got Josh. Now, you said they got all that money. They got to figure out how they're going to show up that front court depth.
Mm-hmm.
There's one thing I know. There's one thing I know about Tom Cornelius Thibodeau.
Got it back.
He gonna 48 minutes, 82 games.
You're right.
Make sure he will treat you like he will treat you like a 2007 Honda Civic. Okay, so just so if you had a Honda Civic, you know that you probably still got it. You probably still got it.
As long as you put water in it, it's gonna go as long as you take care of it. But that's the problem.
And then I say this: Minnesota, they got Julius Randle because he is going to match that intensity and come with that fire like Ant-Man. Now, White Dante, he got that same oomph to him. Minnesota got tougher. With this trade. Because they seen him. Okay, we got and don't forget, still got Nas Reed.
Yeah.
They still got Nas Reed. So now you got Goon, Nas Reed, Goon, Julius Randle, Goon, Anthony Edwards, Goon, Dante DiVincenzo, I don't care what you say. And you got Rudy that ain't going to have no choice but to goon up.
Yeah. I like the move. What I like about the move, and I'm going to ham, is that if you watched Minnesota in the playoffs last year, the one thing they lacked, they didn't have, was somebody else who can consistently create something other than Anthony Edwards when the shot clock gets down to the last 8 seconds. Cat is really more stretch four. They don't really run him in the post like that. Gobert, we know, is a rim runner. Jaden McDaniels and Nas Reed are basically spot-up shooters. DiVincenzo, the strength of his game is the spot-up shooter. But who else can go get it, can go make something happen in a half court? And Julius Randle is a really good creator. We just talked about our girl Alyssa Thomas out with Connecticut Sun. Julius Randle is similar. Big body, but he can handle it. He's a better passer than what you think. The only thing Julius got to do is he just can't fall in love shooting the jumper. If he doesn't fall in love with shooting the jumper and he's aggressive attacking that basket, that's the thing Minnesota didn't have other than Anthony Edwards. Ham, let me get over to you. You can't grade a trade now, but just initial thoughts on it.
Man, first things first.
You finna say it.
No, I looked at this like immediately, like, okay, Trav, you really already see it. You motherfuckers don't want this cat, and you motherfuckers over here don't want this cat. Literally, don't want this cat. It's Carl Anthony Towns.
That's a bar.
So basically, y'all got rid of dudes that y'all don't want, that y'all feel like y'all ain't gonna win with no way, and you got dudes in return that you ain't gonna fucking win with no way. You still gonna be competitive. Sure, you're gonna sell tickets, you're gonna be in the playoffs, you're gonna probably get to the conference finals. That probably be your center. If I'm wrong, okay, I eat it. But that's just is what it is. I don't think either one of them. I don't think Minnesota with that roster, they'd be cool, but I don't think they're gonna get out of the West. And I'm saying that because 12, man. I don't give a fuck. I'm saying that because 12 back. But also with Dallas and everything, just the West is wild, wild like that. And as far as the Knicks, man, y'all still ain't better than Philly. Y'all still ain't better than Boston. Some nights you ain't gonna be better than Milwaukee. Just depends. Just depends.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing that I saw out of it was the first thing I saw on Twitter. Some dude that was a big fan said, he talking to Cat. He said, "Don't come to the guard acting like a bitch."
Welcome to the guard.
I was like, okay, welcome to the squad.
Welcome to the guard.
And the Garden, and we talk about this all the time, when you playing with expectation, like now you come out that, Minnesota, smaller market, you now coming to the Garden with a team with championship expectations. Whether you think that's realistic or not, that is a move you make if you think you're gonna win a title. Like that is the players are comparable, but when Toronto swung with Kawhi for DeMar DeRozan, we seen, when Milwaukee swung last year, Dame for Drew. You don't do that, even though it didn't work out. You don't do that to say we want to make the Eastern Conference final. You do that because you think you're gonna win it. And Cat, like go ahead.
I said, and Minnesota should feel like that, and I think the Knicks feel like that.
Yeah,
because they feel like, okay, we got OG, we got OG, and we got Michael now. So all right, we're gonna circle, we're gonna try to match JT and JB in Boston, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they get Cat, and they're like, all right, so we got Cat. Okay, they got Porzingis. We gonna match that. They feel like at the guard spot they can, Jalen is probably better. Like and then you go over to the West, and Minnesota probably feel like they got punked. Honestly, they probably feel like they got punked, and they needed some more toughness. Because I think that's what happened. I think they got out toughed in that series.
By Dallas, you think?
I just think they play real, like, and I hate to use this word in basketball, but like this is just how I am. Dallas was playing like real gang members out there. They was real gang members out there on that court, in between them lines, as in a basketball sense. In a basketball sense, not they was Luka came in there on that. What up?
I mean, 7-4 plus 3 is what?
Say that again. Say that again.
7-4 plus 3 is what?
Yeah. 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 So for me, for me, for me, for me, it's like Minnesota. Like, no, we got pumped because they did. Lively was what, what can I say? Like what the KG was saying, bone that Paul, G League was bone you Paul. Like the Mavericks was was
They
boning
big,
them.
they big, was rougher and tougher.
Yeah. Lively, Washington, and Gafford.
Gafford, they were just attacking the basket.
Real gang members down here.
Yeah.
Real live goon up. We about to and Nas was just out there like Nas out there like, all right, I got a rock. But these dudes had boulders.
Yeah.
Like
it's gonna be interesting because, like, again, I think it's risky. I think to me, the Knicks took the bigger risk. I think it was a riskier move on the Knicks side, but we've seen this 1,000 times, man. You don't win championships playing it safe. And sometimes you have to take it, and especially if you didn't think you were going to be able to bring Julius back long term, to get Cat back, hey, I can't really be upset at the haul you got, but I think it is risky on the Knicks side. Now we going to end the show with a double salute. One under happy circumstances, the other one, man, definitely sad. So let's start with the sad, man, so we can kind of end it on a happy note. Dikembe Mutombo, legendary center, 58 years old, passed away, brain cancer. And I think for me, what it was, and I know how this feel about this. Trav and Ham, we are, we in our 40s. Coach Les, I think, is early 40s to put the man age out there. It's one thing when it's like an older cat, a cat that was like 75, 80, right? But when it's a dude that you watched hoop, like when we were getting into the game, dudes that we seen hoop, college, pro, it's different. And Coach Les was saying in the pregame, he's like, yeah, that one hit. And usually, we know cats pass away, doesn't really hit you like that. This one did, though. This was different. And so I just think, man, Dikembe, the stuff that he did off the floor was so incredible.
Right.
That, to me, that's the loss. The
That's
loss
awesome.
is what off the floor, all the stuff he was doing.
And like you said, Big Shot, it's the off the court stuff. Of course, that NBA fraternity is hurt. That fraternity that he was a part of, that he was a player. I mean, he was a part of one of the biggest upsets in playoff history. I mean, he's what, 4-time defensive player of the year, shot blocker. He was just one of those. And for Mutombo to be who he was, the big stars of the NBA loved him. Like Charles, like Shaq, like Alonzo Mourning, all those greats. He's going to a place. You're gonna see his old coach there, man. They're gonna embrace him there. But like you said, the stuff that he did off, like putting the hospitals in his hometown, bringing clean water there, food, clothes, shelter. He did so much for his home. He always gave back, man. Of course, we gonna remember two things. We gonna remember his distinct voice of how he talked. I mean, it was just out of nowhere. And that finger wag. That finger wag he put in the NBA, man. That man blocked Clarence Weatherspoon 4 times, man, and was still waving his finger while doing
Listen, J Ham put the highlight up.
it.
I was like, yo, I mean, it's one thing, man, block your shot and give you the finger wag. You still wagging your finger during the play?
That's
The funny one was the last one. He's like, he still had the finger up. He was
yes,
like, when
that
he
was
pointed one time, he was like, I'll put that
go
motherfucker up
up,
one more
go up,
time so
go
I can see
again. And he went straight to him.
it. And credit to Clarence Weatherspoon, he went up strong every time.
Yeah.
It's like the main 7-2 with great timing. What you want to do?
Man,
You know?
and wasn't afraid. He wasn't afraid, which most
No.
outstanding shot blockers in the NBA are. They're not afraid.
No.
It's gonna
And
happen.
he played like what, 19 years or something crazy like
Yeah.
that? For a
At least.
long time.
Long time.
And he really starred in his role his entire career. Because he was an all-star as a rookie. He was one of those rare cases where the rookie was named as an all-star.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he was perennial in doing that. You know what I'm saying? Or being on the all defensive team. He got plenty of accolades to show for it. Never won a championship, but that's fine. You know what I'm saying? He did a hell of a lot more on the court and off the court. You know what I'm saying in that regard. And just to also add another quick note before Worldwide get back, we lost Pete Rose too. We got word of that jersey right.
I slumped back.
Rose.
If y'all seen me, I slumped back in my chair because I seen.
Right, I was looking there like, damn, for real. You know?
Shout out to
Right back.
FanDuel.
Wait a minute, what happened?
Pete Rose passed.
Yeah, we lost Pete Rose during the show.
Again, shout out to
Wow.
FanDuel, DraftKings, Monkey Knife Fight. All these betting sites is because of this man right here.
And that's the thing about it, man. It's like they say it's a piece of your childhood. Like I remember Big Monday, Mutumbo and Morning with the long gray wristbands, the gray the gray t-shirts,
tees.
Long t-shirts with the big wristbands.
with the Nike commercial. Man was not meant to fly in the house of Mutombo.
All right.
Ham is I don't know if Ham had this jersey, but because I seen Ham throwbacks collection is pretty tough. Y'all remember when throwbacks was popping? The Mutombo blue Denver Nugget road jersey was one of the hottest when the throwback era was really popping.
That
was one of the ones everybody had.
That Alex English, one of that same design.
That same design.
Good time.
Yes, sir.
I don't know, man. I mean,
it's Charlie Hustle.
It's like you said, it's one of those where we saw this dude from start to finish, from college to pro. And like you said, we played a long time. So we literally grew up with this dude. You know what I'm saying? In and around the game of basketball. So it's a tough one, man.
I remember when the Nuggets beat the Sonics in '94, the first 8 seed to beat a 1.
First big time upset.
Man
blocked. He was a huge reason why that happened.
Man blocked 31 shots in 5 games.
Shots in that series.
In 5 games.
5 games.
That's in 5 games. People don't do that in 7 games.
People don't do that in a month. The Kimbe, and you talked about him, a star in your role. Like he was like, you know, I'm not David Robinson or Patrick or Olajuwon. They ain't calling 50 post ups for me a game. But I tell you what, on that other end, I'd never forget another one. I know we kind of saw him. See if Coach Les gonna come back to speak, talk about Rose. Remember the 0-1 All-Star game where the East came back from like 20 down?
That was Marbury. That was
It
Marbury.
was like Marbury,
AI.
McGrady,
Mutombo.
AI, and
Mutombo.
Mutombo. They put 4 guards and Mutombo on the floor. This is one
That
of
was
the things.
right before he got traded to Philly too.
He got
Yeah.
They traded him
Theo
from Philly
Ratliff.
for Theo Radley.
Theo Ratliff.
2 defensive players of the year got swapped out, but it was a move that was pretty much a necessity for Philly to get to the finals.
But you know the reason why they had to let Theo Ratliff go, because Theo was actually an all-star that year, but he broke his left hand.
Yeah, broke his hand.
And they needed somebody for him. So they had to let go of Theo and they took Mutombo. And a lot of that 76er team didn't agree with that, but they understood. And Mutombo and his personality came through and fitted right along with them.
Yeah, man. Shout out Mutombo. Like, it's real. Like, if you just I was kind of scrolling through Instagram. Mutombo played for like 16. Every team had a tribute. We're not talking about like, Dikembe wasn't a superstar, but that's just the impact, like Trav said, in that NBA fraternity and then just the world, period. Like him and Elijah really opened that door for African players.
Mm-hmm.
They really opened. They were the pioneers, man. Now we hope he gonna come back through. But then we're gonna end this on a happy note, man. The retirement of Derrick Rose. And Derrick Rose is like the old heads will remember like Gale Sayers in football, where the career, D Rose said a 16-year career, but it was like 4 years where it was like, man. And Ham can talk about it when he came to Memphis, his 1 year in Memphis. I can really talk about the first 4 years in Chicago. But he was truly like a hooper's hooper. And I think he repped Chicago. He repped Memphis the year he was there. The Memphis people, Ham to talk about it, loved him. But shout out D Rose, man. I think to get 16 years out of a career when you had all those injuries and just to continue to fight and come back and really make yourself and make yourself into a veteran when it very well could have been over for him 5-6 years ago. So D Rose, I never forget. I'll never forget the first time I saw that dude play. And they played Oak Hill at the UIC Pavilion. Derrick Rose, I believe, was a senior. Either he was a senior or he was a junior. He was one junior, senior high school.
Senior year.
Senior high school, playing against Brandon Jennings. Brandon Jennings, number 1 junior, Derrick Rose, number 1 senior. They played at UIC. I wasn't in the building for it, but I can only imagine how fast that must have looked, somebody dribbling that ball that fast. Just incredible burst. So that's my first memory of him. So I'm gonna let y'all just around the horn. Your first memories of him, just your thoughts.
Let me go.
Go ahead.
I got 2 first time memories of Derrick Rose. The first time I seen him play, and I didn't know anything because I was away at school, came back like, you know how it is. Like you're away, you come home for the summer, you're not keeping up, and then like social media wasn't heavy back in
Right.
2000 like that. So we played in this run at Chicago State, the old Chicago State gym. If y'all know, it's a lot of history in it. So we have a little run, and then some more dudes come in. And, you know, you see this young kid. You don't know how old he is because he about 6'1", 6'2", like he's skinny, And nobody say nothing because you got a lot of the guys from Loyola, Chicago State, college dudes playing. And he's there, like, I don't know. And so they start playing. They check up. He jump it still. He cock it back. Boom. Hey, say he nice. I said, man, you go. And somebody said, yeah, he's just a freshman. I said, okay. I said, wait, at Chicago State? And they was like, Simeon. I said, man, he ain't no. I said, did he? It was like, yeah, man, best eighth grader in the state, bro. I said, oh no. I said, and I said, man, I said, oh yeah, he probably gonna stay. I said he easily start on varsity. And they said, man, you know how Hamburg get down. Hamburg didn't put freshmen on varsity. So fast forward 2 years later, I'm home. I go to the CPS holiday tournament, and this is an era where you got Derrick Rose, Patrick Beverly, Sharon Collins, all playing in the same gym in 1 week. And Chicago, we had Chicago State again. It's funny. The second time I ever seen him play is back at Chicago State. At this time, he a junior. His name is now it's buzzing, right? First play of the game, they used to run this live play, pass. He get it back screen, he dunks it. He dunked the ball so high, so hard, he had to turn his head away from the rim as high he got up. He second play down, he catches it on the block, two hand fake, like little fake dream shake, turns, cocks it back with one hand. 6'9" dude comes over to help, put him in the basket. The gym is going crazy. So they end up beating the mess out of him. The next day they play Crane, which has Sharon Shorty Collins. And you from Chicago, you just follow college basketball. Sharon Collins was a dog. And Sharon taught. Derrick Rose, from the time he was a kid, from the time he played his last game, he ain't gonna say much. He just Sharon go off, D Rose, they win the game. And somebody said to me, like, man, it's Chicago. So man, what you think of Shorty? I said, oh, he the best guard in the state, no doubt. And they was like, you think he the best guard in the state? And I'm like, easily. And they said, better than and they said, better than Sharon? I said, yeah. I said, he better than D Brown. I said, he better than Ben Gordon and Kurt Heinrich. I swear to God, I said, when I say the state, I mean the whole state. And my guy was like, dude, you crazy. I said, if there's a guard playing basketball in the state of Illinois, I don't care if it's the NBA, the ABA, high school, right, he is better than all of them. I said, and I promise you, and I don't like fabricating or exaggerating, but I swear to you, I said it right in front of Chicago State Gym, and I said it just like this. So excuse me for cussing. I said that motherfucker could play for the Bulls right now. That was 2000, the Christmas time 2005. I said that. 2.5 years later, he gets drafted. 2008, he gets drafted by the Bulls. Now I'm not saying I seen him playing for the Bulls. I'm not saying that. But I said,
yeah,
play for the Chicago Bulls right now. And everybody just started laughing. They thought I was crazy. I'm like, man, he ain't nobody better. Nobody better. And from that day on, and as grown and big of an age I am, I became a fan of Derrick Rose. You guys have known me for years. And y'all know it's 3 players that I would defend like they are my own flesh and blood. Derrick Rose, Carmelo Anthony, Kevin Durant. Yep. Right now, I'm just down to one right now. That's still keeping it alive. But when it comes to Derrick Rose, and the thing I love about Derrick Rose is that he represents hope, perseverance, adversity. And like it was more than basketball with the young man, because if you know his story, you looked him up, and you've seen everything you had to go through, he won when he got to go to Memphis. He won life then, considering the circumstances he grew up in.
Yep.
And everything he's done from the time he was able to make it out of Inglewood, which was one of the roughest places in the country, and then to go play for his home team and nothing crazy happening. Nothing crazy happening. Allegations, all that. What, what? The worst thing we can say about the man, the worst thing we can say about the man is he said he wanted to be able to be healthy for his children. He wanted to be able to play with his children, so he wasn't gonna play with himself. That's the worst thing you can say. That's the worst thing you can say. D Rose wasn't out here beating up on people, you know, taking pictures when he's young. We all got crazy pictures when we were young, when we are 19 years old. We all done stuff. But as far as like anything detrimental to the NBA, Derrick Rose was a prime example. And he was and I said, tell you like this, like the injuries, not for the injuries, he'd have that LeBron effect. He'd have that LeBron effect because if you look at it, LeBron put his people on. It is well publicized. A lot of people didn't know Derrick Rose put a lot of his people on until he got hurt and they wanted to say, like, oh, Adidas doing this, doing this. But that was under wraps. Derrick Rose took care of his people. Derrick Rose became a man. We watched him grow up. Think about how we've seen him talk as a 17, 18-year-old when people were sticking a microphone in his face and he was kind of shy and can't do interviews because he eating Swedish fish and lemon heads in the Final Four, like to what we seen him become now. Right? We literally watched this man grow up. He grew up before our eyes. So that's why everybody in the league gives him his flowers.
J Ham.
My bad. I'm sorry.
You good?
No, you good. I was let Ham get in real quick. No, I mean, no. I'm gonna come right back to you. I was gonna get Ham real quick. The Memphis year.
Yeah. But I got, hey fellas, I appreciate y'all. I gotta run over to the gym. We got some workouts.
All right.
Hey man, we talking about flowers, man. I always gotta give y'all flowers.
Appreciate you.
Y'all have no idea the stuff that I've been able to think about and do on this journey of me coaching and listening to you guys. I mean, I can tell you this now. Y'all ain't no different from these people I see on a day-to-day basis. I'll tell you that now. So I love y'all brothers, man. Appreciate y'all having me on. Like I said, y'all on this journey with me. And when we really get there, we gonna be there.
And I'm gonna just say this. I feel the same way about you. Capital FEEL.
My brother. My brother.
Hey, boy. Later, man. J Ham, we're gonna wrap. We're gonna get in a couple more minutes, but you was down there for a year. Freshman year, 07, 08 with Memphis. City took him in, and he's still, from what you tell me, even though he's only there 1 year, one of the more beloved Tigers, man.
Single greatest season in Tiger basketball history in my lifetime. That includes the year that, 85. Shout out to Dana Kirk. Dana Kirk went to jail for cheating. That's some hard cheating when you go to jail for cheating, man. Shout out to this. That's some real Memphis shit. I like this shit. But just that run. And then also being an employee that was working 2 blocks from FedEx Forum this season and to see just the energy moving in and around downtown like it was, not just like Final Four weekend and then a tournament, the whole season.
Mm.
Somebody posted a tweet the other day and I took a screenshot and shared it. Talked about the billboards that they used to have promoted around town. And even before, when he was just a signee, they couldn't use his picture because they used everybody else. They used CDR, Antonio Anderson, you know what I'm saying? But they just had a rose. on the
Oh,
billboard.
that's
You
tough.
already knew what time.
You already knew what it was.
And it was rented right over here by the house too. So it's like I always remember, you know what I'm saying, exactly where the joint was. I'm like, oh yeah, the joint was right at that loop at I-55 and 240 when they intersect right there. It was right there on that joint. And that was what one of them was. I think it was like two or three around town. But I know that one was the one that I always saw. And that was like the promotion. And it was like the next phenom. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily the next Memphis phenom, just the next phenom is on the way. You know what I'm saying? And the height we already knew. John, of course, sold us the package like it was a WWE pay-per-view. You know what I'm
Warm
saying?
to well
Yeah, I
down.
already knew what it was gonna be. And it was just a hell of a ride, you know, and it ended kind of wild in that sense, but in that same token for the city just in general, they always really did embrace dude. You know what I'm saying? We looked at Big Shot, we always talk about that kinship in Chicago and this part
Oh
of the
yeah,
country in
absolutely.
general, especially with Memphis, Mississippi, you know, just in general. You know, so it was no different with that. It was like, oh, hey, that's our cousins from the shop. Citywide, even the white people. When the white people kind of look at you like that too, then you know you all right in Memphis if you good with the white folks, you all right. He was good with the white folks in Memphis. Still is. You know, so it's just one of those deals, man, where it's like, yeah, we know he's from the shop, but that work he put in as a Tiger, and then for him to have the opportunity to also not just play the best part of his career in his home city, but to actually have we hate it didn't go well from a
But he
team
got to finish
standpoint,
there
but
too.
yeah, he got to be a part of it here, and it was cool to see him here. And the people got I got a chance to see him when I got a chance to see him last year live. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't had no jobs, I was out, so he got some quality minutes. But you know, so it was a cool deal, man. He had a hell of a run. I don't want to speak on the negative like this, but I want to speak on it from a historical standpoint. He really may be the only MVP to not be in the Hall. And it wasn't because he sucked. He
No.
got robbed physically. You know what I'm saying? And it's a tough deal because he got a lot of the essential accolades that you need. And somebody might if one day he just might. But either way, you know.
Yeah, he. I think he made the most of what he could out of that post injury. You know,
Like
he
that.
he had a couple of he got I think it was 2 years. He was in the six man of the year run a couple of
Mhm.
years.
I think he won it.
Yeah.
Won it with.
Got close to winning the cup. So, but you like I said, hey, you don't want to stick on the what if. But I just say this: them first 4 years watching him.
Woo.
I gotta say this too. I mentioned this Friday when I was at the station. I was at the radio station. Shout out to my boy producer Brian Dakis. He brought this up to me on the air. He was like, really, if you compare the careers of Derrick Rose and Penny, the numbers and all of it, the accolades, with the exception of the MVP, from when they got hurt at the same identical spot in their career where it changed.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the numbers career wise, they damn near the same. Penny
Yeah.
played about, I think, 16, 14, 16. Derrick hung around for 16.
16. Yeah.
So it's just the oddities, you know what I'm saying? The irony, rather, all of
Yep.
that time he mattered that it did. And two dudes who really got robbed health wise, but if they didn't, they both changed the landscape of the point guard position for their specific era that they played in.
Trav, you want to finish it off?
I'm gonna do mine nice and neat. I never known a dude in the NBA to you great when you have stuff that's called when they make rules up and they make it a right within the National Basketball Association. The Derrick Rose right.
Yeah.
Also,
He got a rule too.
Derrick Rose rule. Derrick Rose, right? Derrick Rose
He got a
rule.
rule.
Also, I ain't never known the people to make a sickness up after you called the D Rose flu.
Yes.
That was known in the NBA for the first 4 years. Now, of course, I was in the city. I mean, not in the city, right outside, but you can feel the buzz down south when he was here. But my two major things that I seen of Derrick Rose, and I was like, oh my God. When he dunked on Dragic, and when he did that jackknife dunk in the garden.
Again, against the
When he
Knicks.
stole the ball, politely jogged down the court. He jumped so high, he had to duck up under the goal to get the reverse dunk. He put that thing down to his shoes, come back, and dunked that thing, man. Derrick Rose he was unbelievable. And during that run, I'm gonna tell y'all something. He came after the throne quietly, but he was making a lot of noise. Number 6 down there in South Beach felt it. He came after that throne. It was nothing D Wade could do. It was nothing Bosh could do. They couldn't stop it. You seen the dunk when he dunked on Anthony.
Jumped on Joel Anthony.
When he had that thing so far in his back, he could have put it in his shirt. He came after the throne, man. That man came after the throne. He was confident. He was so confident in his game and what he can do. At any point, he can do it when healthy.
He really, other than Westbrook, I mean, he really was like as good, like as athletic as you've ever seen play that position. Him, because it was not only just the hops, the speed,
He was
the burst.
It's something about that area of Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, where those guards have that boom,
That takeoff.
it's a
That
quick
takeoff was
twitch.
nasty.
It's a quick twitch type deal, and it's explosive.
Yeah. He could just go that short, what they call it, short area quickness.
Man, he had it, dog.
He had it. Oh, man. So shout out to D Rose. Rest in peace to Dikembe. So listen, we're going to get out of here. We will be back next Monday, October 7th. We probably be previewing the NBA final. Not the WNBA final should be almost here.
Yep.
So we'll probably be taking a look at that. And then I think we're going to save our conference previews for the shows after that. So tune in. Ham in the building. Trav. Shout out our main man, Coach Les. 94 feet of life. Basketball for the people.